Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, All About Me Lifestyle. I wanted to share with you how I lost 100 pounds. And the reason is because we are not all the same. We have different body structures, different blood types, and there's so many different diets out there, trying to sell people or promote their business in losing weight. With me, I've tried so many diets and it was a yo-yo. It's like the weight comes and the weight goes. And even though I'm speaking now, it's still a struggle for me. Okay, so first of all, I came to realize that this way of thinking and the way of eating has to be something that I can do for the rest of my life. Not do it for 1 month and lose some weight and then fall off the wagon and try thinking about something else. When it comes to weight loss surgery, that's a big no-no for me. To each its own. I'm not trying to offend anyone who has done the surgery or who has done the injection. You choose what's best for you. For me, I'm choosing the natural way, and that I'm going to share with you today. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I've said this before. And it's going to take me years to lose all this weight. I'm not looking to lose 10 pounds in a week or 10 pounds in 2 weeks. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do it right because it has worked for me so far. And I'm going into my 3rd year. Okay. So I'm on a plateau for the longest time. I don't know why, but I've been on plateaus before. This has been the longest. And the good thing about it is I have not gained any weight, so I'm still maintaining. But sometimes when you're on a plateau, it takes time for the weight to start going again, because what's happening in this process is my body is readjusting, to accept the new me. Certain things is changing in my body. I can feel it and I can see it. Like I walk with a cane, a 4-prong cane, and I don't use it as often anymore. When I go walking, I can walk without it. At first, I used to walk with it. But as the weight starts to go, I was feeling less dependable on my cane. And not only that too, a lot of time people will say, oh, eat this, eat that, and you will lose the weight. What they're not saying is, as time goes by and you're losing this weight and you exercise, your appetite, your stomach is going to start shrinking naturally. So a lot of food that you was eating before, you're not going to be able to eat that large amount anymore, because as time goes by, and I said earlier that your stomach is going to shrink. As you start exercising, as you start maintaining, your body is going to start accepting the new changes that is going forward for your weight loss without you even holding back certain things, Like, for example, water. I drink a lot of water. I don't drink juices. I do not drink orange juices. I really don't do juicing because it's just not me. I'm just going for what works for me. And I rather to eat my calories than to drink my calories. Okay? Because when you drink it, you're gonna pass out, urine, and it's not gonna stay in you for a good while. But when you eat your food, on my point of view, Whenever I eat, the food sits a longer time in my stomach. So I'm more full compared to when I drink. Now, if I get hungry or I feel for something, this is my go-to, and it has to be cold. Okay, you have the flavors that you can put in it. If you want to, you can. I'm so used to this now that it doesn't bother me. This is so refreshing to me. So if I'm hungry, if I'm craving certain stuff, this is what I reach for until it's time for me to eat. When I started my journey, it was very hard at first because my mobility wasn't good, was not good at all. I used to walk with two canes, okay? I walked with a 4-prong cane and a regular cane. So one in the left and one on the right. My legs were so heavy to lift. You know, I just could not walk without help. That was my assistants walking with cane, you know? So as time went by, I just started to think, you know, because sometimes I would go on a diet and by the end of the month, I would get so stressed out or fed up that I have not lost 50 pounds or I haven't lost 60 pounds. Like I'd be seeing a lot of people on YouTube, oh, eat this and you lose such and such. So what I start doing is listening to my body. And when I say listening to my body, I started to see what foods make me gain, you know, a lot of weight and how they make my body feel. So I was a lover of hamburgers, okay? And that's where a lot of my weight came from. And what I started doing was I'd eat a hamburger and then 10 minutes after I would stand on the scale and I would see a rapid weight gain of 3 pounds just from eating a hamburger. As time progressed, I started to notice the type of foods that I eat. So what I start to do is tweak a lot of my recipes. When it comes to stews, like curry chicken, brown stew chicken, you know, Jamaican recipes, I don't do a lot of those, okay? I will eat it, but it's once in a blue moon. Let us try to stick to the healthier menus. When it comes to drinking liquid, this is it. If I drink milk, I drink almond milk. I don't do whole milk because of the fat that's in it, and not only that, of all these hormones and stuff that they put in the food. And I'm very self-conscious when it comes to that because I know that has a lot to do with my weight gain. When I'm buying my fruits, I try to buy certain fruits like watermelon with the seeds, apples. I love bananas, but I don't fool around it that much because bananas has a lot of calories in it. When it comes to exercise, a lot of people will go to the gym and stuff. Me personally, I don't go to the gym. I do not have a gym membership. And the reason, I don't like being around people. No offense to no one. I'm an introvert. And I like going outside. I don't own a treadmill and I will not buy a treadmill. The reason, to me, when I'm outside, that energy feels, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but the energy outside is more motivating than the energy on the inside when you are on a equipment, you know, because it's like you're feeling that air, that oxygen, your body is moving, you're sweating that natural sweat, you know, the trees, it just connects, everything just connects. When I'm at home, I cut my own yard. That's exercise to me. Very good exercise. Yard work, A1, okay? So I do my yard work at home, and when I say I sweat and it works every muscle. Yard work is very good cardio, ladies. If you want to lose some weight, you go out in that yard and you start pulling some weeds. Push that lawnmower, trim those edges, sweep up those leaves. You know, just plant some little herbs, plant your little flowers. Just get busy and dirty in that yard. When you come inside, your body is going to thank you for it. It's the best type of cardio. And I can tell you this personally. If I go outside and I cut my yard, okay? Cutting my yard outside, trimming my edges, and this is just the backyard, okay? And looking at my little herbs, weeding up whatever is around them and stuff. When I come back inside, I can tell you that when I stand on the scale, like 3 to 4 pounds is gone. Okay, just from being outside in the yard. Try it. Another form of exercise is when you go shopping. When you're walking up and down those aisles, it's exercise for me. Like I've said before, I've lost, I'd say maybe 40% of my mobility. And when I say I've lost about 40% of my mobility, it doesn't mean that I cannot walk, but I cannot do certain things that other people do. Okay, I cannot jump, and I'm working on it. I cannot run. You know, I can do a little thing on the spot, like a little jog on the spot, but I cannot jog, okay? I cannot lay on the ground and do push-ups. And as time goes by, I find different ways of doing my exercises. If I want to do push-ups, I can lean against a wall and put my hands like this, or against a tree outside, and I'll push. Guys, another thing that I do is I don't buy fast food. So I haven't bought fast food in about 2.5, 3 years now. And this has done a lot of goodness in my life because it has helped me with my mobility, one, and it has helped me with changes in my body. Like in my leg, I have artery disease and I have this big bulging vein on the side of my leg. And that leg, the vein that's in the leg has shrunk a lot. So, you know, when you buy these fast food, especially fried chicken, hamburgers, you name it, you know, it's messing up our cholesterol. I'm not trying to say, you know, to stop buying your fast food, but I'm just letting you know what I do, okay? So guys, I think this might be a part 1 of what I do to lose 100 pounds. You know, I've spoken about my lifestyle when it comes to eating out, eating fast food. I've spoken about my exercises, and if you hear that sound, it's the rain falling, guys. So calm and beautiful until the lightning starts. I'm going inside real quick, so that's why I'm going to make this into a 2-part video. And I've also spoken about people being different when it comes to a weight loss journey, you know, when it comes to your blood type, when it comes to your choice of food, what works for you and what doesn't work for another person. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit right now, because sometimes you'll see a person eating fruits and they're eating no carbs and stuff like that, and they're telling you how much weight they lose. Guys, our bodies need carbs. My body needs carbs, you know, because you get energy from carbs. So I do eat carbs, and when you don't eat carbs, your body is gonna get that nutrients is gonna get the nutrients that they get from the carb. They're gonna get it somewhere else in your body. If you do not drink milk, eat cheese, have your calcium, your body is gonna pull it from something else in your body. Example, it's gonna pull it from your bones, it's gonna pull it from your teeth, so that is why I try to include everything into my diet except the bad foods, okay? The sugars, certain kind of sugars I don't use. I don't use the granulated sugar, and I don't just use the brown sugar. I try to use the raw brown sugar because it's coming from the natural state, without any chemicals in it. I don't just use iodized salt or pink salt. I use sea salt because it's the best salt to use. And also, guys, these items that I'm talking about might be a bit expensive, but they last me a good while. And hey, I'm not cooking for a big family, it's just me and my son that I'm cooking for, and he eats pretty much everything that I eat. But I'll come up with a part 2, and I hope you enjoyed my little conversation on how I lost 100 pounds. So I'll see you in my next episode. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? Be blessed, be safe, and peace.